So, in continuation with the previous lecture of harmful natural constituents and common adulterants, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, today I will discuss about the phenolic compound. This is the next anti-nutritional factors, which is widely present in different categories of plants, and under the phenolic compounds, I will discuss about the gossypol and tannins. Both are phenolic compounds, and these phenolic compounds contain aromatic ring with one or more hydroxyl groups. So, gossypol is a compound which is found in pigment gland of cotton seed. Gossypol is present in pigment gland of cotton seed, and there are two forms of gossypol: free gossypol and bond form of gossypol. And bond form of gossypol is physiologically inactive in nature. So the toxicological effect which occurs due to free form of gossypol generally. And what it causes? It causes the different physiological effect and impacts of free gossypol. That is, if we feed cotton seed cake or cotton seed meal to poultry birds, then there may be the chance of olive green yolk in the hen egg and depress feed intake, depress growth performance. Ascites may develop. Ascites means fluid deposition of fluid in different cavities or localities of the body. So ascites may develop, tissue edema may develop, similar kind of the things. Cardiac lesion may arise, and male infertility is the major concern if we offer cotton seed meal in more quantity, in excess quantity in case of the poultry. And this condition arises due to the presence of free gossypol in cotton seed. So these gossypols which form complex with the iron also, and this is also one of the very major concern about the iron deficiency in livestock when we offer phenolic compounds which contains gossypol. So iron deficiency occurs, then when iron deficiency occurs in the body, then what happens? Anemia may develop in that particular livestock due to presence of gossypol in the feed. So when we offered cotton seed meal, which is rich source of the gossypol, then we must supplement some iron sources along with that feed. So iron sources is ferrous sulfate. So ferrous sulfate we can supplement with this cotton seed cake. So by that way we can reduce the deficiency of iron, or we can meet the availability of iron in the body of animals. So by that way we can check the deficiency of iron and development of anemia in livestock. Next to gossypol. So in gossypol you have to remember that source of the gossypol, the pigment gland of cotton seed, where gossypol found, and you should remember gossypol cause iron deficiency, and to reduce the iron deficiency you should remember ferrous sulfate iron source should be supplemented to the livestock feed. Next to gossypol, tannin. Tannin is polyphenolic compound, and tannin has ability to bind with or precipitate with protein. So tannin precipitated the protein. If it is in excess quantity, the level of tannin is in excess quantity, then it is having worse effect or negative effect of protein utilization because it form protein tannin complex. So if we can offer limited concentration of feed which contains tannin, rich in tannin, it will be favorable or uh, it will have growth promoting activity by forming a complex with the protein. So by formation of the complex with the protein, they can bypass the protein from the rumen. So reduce the fermentation rate of the protein in the rumen, and they can bypass the protein to lower tract. And once the bypass the protein, then the absorption of the amino acid will be more in the body. So it will work in two directions. It has negative effect as well as it has positive effect, and it can improve the performance. But the concentration, it totally depend on the concentration of the tannin in the diet. So there is a two type of the tannin, condensed tannin and hydrolyzed tannin. लास्ट लेना मैं बात करता हूँ. Condensed tannin and hydrolyzed tannin. So condensed tannin which are not readily hydrolyzed, that means not easily hydrolyzed by the system, and it is a complex structure and formed from the condensation of flavanols, and example of flavanols is catechin and epicatechin. So tannin, condensed tannin is not readily hydrolyzable in the system. However, hydrolyzable tannin is readily hydrolyzed in the system. So hydrolyzable tannin have more negative effect in the body, and the metabolites of the hydrolyzable tannin causing different negative effect on different vital organ of the body, like it may affect the liver, it may affect the kidney, like that. So hydrolyzable tannin also has astringent activity. Astringent activity, due to astringent activity, they adversely affect the feed intake and palatability of the feed. So feed intake may be reduced if the concentration of hydrolyzable tannin in particular feed resources is high. And I just discussed that low or to moderate concentration of condensed tannin, which is good for health also, and it can precipitate the soluble protein of the plant sources, which can protect them against degradation in the rumen. So after reducing the degradation in the rumen, it can bypass the rumen and it goes to the lower tract. There, availability of amino acid will be increased after digestion of the protein. So it may increase the performance of the animal if low to moderate concentration of condensed tannin is available in that particular source of the plant. So this condensed tannin is also work as protein protectant, and we can say that natural protein protectant. We can use the condensed tannin source or natural protein protectant of the plant sources. By that way, the increase the amino acid absorption from the small intestine and ultimately increase the performance of the animal. The tannin sources, they also modify the gas production system in the body. So when we use the tannin-rich diet in the livestock feeding, they manipulate the microbial flora and fauna which is present in the rumen, and by that way the gas production limit or gas production level may be changed in the rumen. So if the gas production manipulation takes place in the rumen, then there is the chance of reduction of load, as well as they can reduce the methane production, because methane production is also depends on the production of the total gas volume in the rumen. So once we can reduce the total gas volume in the rumen, ultimately we can check the or reduce the concentration of the methane in the ruminant species. And condensed tannin also play very important. These condensed tannin also have health impact in livestock, and by that way the condensed tannin is also claimed to restrict the growth of the gut parasite. So it also works as it also has anti-parasitic effect, and several research work shows that the source of the condensed tannin will reduce the internal parasite of the gut in livestock. Next to phenolic compound, next one is the mycotoxins. So mycotoxin is the metabolite of the molds or fungus, we can say that, and it is very much toxic for the animal as well as the product what we can use. It is toxic for the human also, and the toxigenic species, different species of the fungal or molds are Aspergillus, common species Aspergillus, Penicillium, Fusarium. So these are the common genera of the molds, and this is widely available in the habitats, and most common the chronic effect of these molds in the livestock is decreased growth rate and decreased feed intake. So decreased feed intake, by decreasing feed intake, the growth rate ultimately decreases. And the subclinical effect occurs. These molds have a subclinical effect on the liver, different vital organ of the body like liver, kidney, GI tract, and it may affect badly. Generally, liver may be affected very badly because metabolism of the liver is the major metabolism site of the body, and most of the metabolism takes place here in the liver. And different species of the fungus have different impact on the vital organ of the body. Some secondary toxic effect of aflatoxin B1, aflatoxin T2, like T2 toxin, which interfere with the immune system also, and increasing the susceptibility of infection, different diseases, different infection to the animals. So by decreasing the immunity of the body, ultimately susceptibility of against infection will be increased. In case of poultry, acute death may occur due to turkey X disease, known as turkey X disease, where the liver cancer, leukinosis, sweet clover poisoning, facial eczema. Facial eczema may occur in the sheep, ryegrass, astragalus, and ergotism. Ergotism is also very much common in case of sheep due to mold toxicity. Other toxins like plant carcinogens. So plant carcinogen which affect the livestock in different way, and consumption of the poisonous plant, carcinogenic plants, the livestock may suffer from the this poisoning. And the bladder and intestinal cancer in cattle may happen due to overconsumption of bracken fern. So bracken fern, if we can offer excess or free leave of bracken fern, then there may be the chance of the bladder and intestinal cancer in ruminants. Pyrizolidine alkaloids. These alkaloids have been discussed in the alkaloid chapter. Alkaloid pyrrolizidine alkaloid, which have carcinogenic in nature, and it is also coming under the plant carcinogens. So other toxin like formaldehyde, trimethylamine oxides, these are also present in occurs in certain type of the marine fish, and they impair the iron absorption. That means they reduce the or may negatively affect the absorption of the iron. And iron deficiency sign, which all are aware about what happens if iron deficiency occur in the body. Then reduced growth rate, anemia may develop, loss of hair pigmentation. Loss of hair pigmentation is also known as achromotricia. So achromotricia may develop due to these kind of the toxins present in the different kind of the heats. So next one is nitrates. Nitrate is very important, and you must remember that the nitrate toxicity in ruminant is also known as oat-hay poisoning. You must remember oat-hay poisoning occurs due to nitrate toxicity in ruminant. And a large amount of nitrate which is present in source of nitrate in green fodder is green oats. And how it happens? It happens due to heavy dressing of nitrogenous fertilizer. So just after application of nitrogenous fertilizer in green fodder, just wait for 7 or 10 to 14 days for harvesting to feed the animals. So we should not go just after dressing of the nitrogenous fertilizer and harvest the fodder. We should wait at least 10 days or 15 days to reduce the effect of the nitrate in that fodder, and after that time period, we can harvest it, we can cut it and feed to the animals. So this is the major source of different nitrogenous fertilizer, is the source of the nitrates, and it may enhance the nitrate toxicity when we use this kind of the fertilizer and cut the plant just within 5 days or 7 days. Then there may be the chance of the oat-hay poisoning in ruminants. So the toxic effect in the ruminant is caused by the reduction. Nitrate itself is non-toxic in nature, but once the nitrate is reduced to nitrite, then how it happens? This nitrate is reduced to nitrite in the rumen. So after chewing the plant, the fermentation takes place in the rumens. So during fermentation process, nitrate is reduced to nitrite, and nitrite is toxic in nature. So nitrite once oxidizes the ferrous sulfate of hemoglobin. How this toxicity occurs? Actually, nitrate is converted to nitrite, and nitrite which oxidizes the ferrous iron of the hemoglobin to ferric acid. So ferrous iron is converted to ferric acid, and once ferric iron is formed, then what happens? There is production of brown pigment methemoglobin. So methemoglobin or methemoglobin may form, and this methemoglobin is incapable of transporting oxygen to the body tissue. So in that way, there is deficiency of the oxygen in the body, and due to deficiency of oxygen in the body, animal may die due to asphyxia or oxygen deficiency or respiratory distress. Animal may die. So the toxic sign of that nitrate poisoning is trembling, staggering. These are the nervous symptoms due to deficiency of the oxygen at cellular level. and rapid respiration and death may arise. However, in case of non-ruminant which can tolerate nitrate, but ruminant do not, because rumen bacteria convert nitrate to nitrite. So non-ruminant is less susceptible to nitrate toxicity rather than ruminant. Ruminant are more susceptible to nitrate toxicity because rumen bacteria convert nitrate to nitrite, which is toxic form of, and that nitrite may convert hemoglobin to methemoglobin. And methemoglobin is, methemoglobin is not capable of transporting oxygen to the body. So this is the mechanism of nitrate toxicity, and nitrate toxicity is commonly known as overtake poison. So toxicity of nitrate which occurs in the animal or grazing animals. So how we can overcome from this toxicity? Actually, we can overcome from, or we can treat this nitrate toxicity by treating intravenous injection of methylene blue solution. So methylene blue solution about 2 to 4 milligram per kg to 15 milligram per kg body weight IV in 1% solution. We can inject it, or ascorbic acid reducing agent we can offer to the animals, and by that way, if once we can offer these treatments, so they accept the electron for NADPH reductase in blood, and which accelerate the reconversion of methemoglobin or methemoglobin to functional hemoglobin. So by that way, we can application of the reducing agent, we can treat, we can reduce the acute nitrate toxicity in ruminant. However, oral dose of mineral oil by application of the mineral oil 1 liter for adult cattle or 500 gram sodium sulfate in saline drip. 500 gram sodium sulfate in saline drip per cattle, per adult cattle as a supportive treatment, we can use it. So by that way, we can overcome from the nitrate toxicity in ruminant. After that, classification, this is the second classification, that is the classification of natural toxicants by their occurrence in feeds. So what kind of the natural toxicants occur in the feed? Like grains, as we talk about the grains. All kind of the grains contains phytates and mycotoxins. And rye and triticale is rich in the trypsin inhibitor and ergot. Milo is rich in tannins. Potato is rich in solanum alkaloid, solanine, and cassava is rich in cyanogenic glycosides. Like that, protein supplements, soybean containing trypsin inhibitor, lectins, goitrogens, saponins, phytates, and mycotoxin. So these kind of the toxicant present in soybean meal. Cottonseed contains gossypol, tannin, cyclopropanide, fatty acid, and mycotoxin. Like that, rapeseed and mustard oil cake contains glucosinolates, tannins, erucic acid, and cinnamide. Linseed, flaxseed meal, linseed meal contains linamarin and linolene. Hava bean contains trypsin inhibitor, leucine, and lectins. Like different forages like legumes, alfalfa. Alfalfa contains saponin, phytoestrogens, bloating agents. Saponin is also one of the bloating agents. And red clover contains sulframine, phytoestrogen, and bloating agents. Sweet clover contains coumarin. Leucinia contains myrmosin. This is toxic amino acids. Leucinia is the source of the myrmosin. Tropical grasses contains oxalate. Phytoestra itself contains resource of the oxalates. Brassica forage contains brassica anemia factors. So you should go through this table, classification of natural toxicants, and you just remember which kind of the grains, supplements, protein supplements, powders, and what kind of the toxin present in such feedstuffs. So how we can manage the toxicosis? Toxicosis, the management of the toxicosis is very much important, and during an emergency, we should institute the necessary emergency. During emergency, supportive therapy is very much important in case of animal. So supportive therapy we can implement, establish a tentative clinical diagnosis based on the therapy. We can institute the appropriate remedial and antidotal procedure. Identify the toxic agent as rapidly as possible. So by identification of the toxic agent, we can treat the animal, or we can support the animals based on the toxic principles.
So the sequence, sir.
Determine the source of the toxins, different source of the toxin. So we should go just move for the history before treating the animals. Counseling is very much important for livestock owner to reduce the hazardous effect of the plant sources they are using, and how we can implicate the toxicants, and we provide the instruction for the reducing the problem in the future. So by that way we can manage the toxicosis in the livestock.
सर ये सीक्वेंस है सर.
Which one?
सर ट्रीटमेंट का सीक्वेंस है सर. मैनेजमेंट ऑफ टॉक्सिक सर सीक्वेंस हुआ है क्या सर?
एकदम, this is in sequence wise. So last one is counseling of livestock owner. You just go through it and just remember it, how we can manage the toxicosis. So lastly, the last chapter that is under this section is, under this discussion is common feed adulterants. This is presenting how we can adulterate how the supplier adulterate the feed and fodder, and what are the common feed and fodder adulterants present in different feed ingredients. So first you should know what is adulterant. Adulterant is the definition of adulterant. It is a intentional admixture. That means they intentionally mix some poor quality ingredients. So intentional admixture of a pure substances with some low quality substances. Intentional admixture of a pure substances with some low quality substances for earning more profit. So this is adulterant. And feed adulterants which can be checked only in laboratory. There are different methods to check the adulterants, and these methods are chemical analysis, bioassay of assessment, bioassay we can perform, but this is less common method. Feed microscopy is commonly used, and chemical analysis of the ingredient is commonly used in the laboratory. So by that way, chemical analysis, bioassay, and feed microscopy, we can check the adulterants. So these are the common feed ingredients, and these are the adulterants, two columns. So in case of groundnut cake, ground husk, urea, unconventional feed resources, oil cakes may be adulterated in groundnut cake. In case of mustard cake, Argemona mexicana seed, urea, unconventional feed resources cake. Soybean meal, urea, and husk. You remember this table. So these are the feed ingredients, and these are the adulterants. Like de-oiled rice bran and wheat bran, how they can adulterate rice, husk, सॉडस्ट उन्नी जो बुरादा होता है लकड़ी का, उसको भी मिक्स करते हैं डी ऑयल रेस्टोरेंट में और बीटरन में। किस मिल में कॉमन साल्ट यूज करते हैं एज एडल्ट्रेंट एंड यूरिया टू इंक्रीज द प्रोटीन परसेंटेज, टू इंक्रीज द नाइट्रोजन कंसंट्रेशन इन दैट पार्टिकुलर फीड यूरिया कैन बी मिक्स एंड सॉल्ट यूज करते हैं टू इंक्रीज द सेल्फ लाइफ ऑफ द कीपिंग क्वालिटी ऑफ दैट फिश। मिनरल मिक्सचर में कॉमन सॉल्ट, मार्बल पाउडर, सैंड, लाइमस्टोन, दीज आर द एडल्ट्रेंट इन मिनरल मिक्सचर। मोलासेस में वाटर मिक्स कर देता है लोग टू इंक्रीज द वेट और इंक्रीज द वॉल्यूम ऑफ दैट पार्टिकुलर इंग्रेडिएंट। MBM मीन्स मीट कम बोन मिल, मीट एंड बोन मिल में एडल्ट्रेशन लेदर मिल का कर देते हैं, ब्लड मिल यूज होता है एंड सैंड आल्सो दे कैन यूज इन MBM. DCB is dicalcium phosphate. Dicalcium phosphate is rich source of the phosphorus and calcium and calcite powder इसमें mix कर देंगे, rock phosphate mix कर देंगे. So these are the common feed ingredients and these are the common adulterants. You must remember this table. What kind of the adulterants the supplier use intentionally for getting more profit. So thank you about all of you and finish this chapter and topic. Next is in next class I will discuss about the feed additives.